Standard 7th, English Medium, Subject History. Lesson number 2. India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. We shall learn about the various ruling powers in India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj in this lesson. Various ruling powers existed in India during that period. Pal, in the 8th century, was a famous dynasty in Bengal. In central India, the Gujar Pratihar power spread up to Andhra, Kalinga, Vidarbha, West Kathiawar, Kannauj and Gujarat. Among the Rajput dynasties in North India, the Kahadwal and the Parmar dynasties were the important ones. Among Rajputs, Prithviraj Chauhan, belonging to the Chauhan dynasty, was a valiant king. In the first war at Tarai, Prithviraj Chauhan had defeated Muhammad Ghuri. But Muhammad Ghuri defeated Prithviraj Chauhan in the second war at Tarai. Rajaraj I and Rajendra I, belonging to the Chola dynasty in Tamil Nadu, were eminent rulers. The Cholas conquered the Maldives Islands and Sri Lanka using their naval strength. King Vishnuvardhan, belonging to the Hoysal dynasty in Karnataka, had conquered the whole of Karnataka. During the reign of Govinda III of the Rashtrakuta dynasty in Maharashtra, the Rashtrakud power spread from Kannauj up to Rameshwar. Later, Krishna III conquered the region up to Allahabad. Three dynasties of Shilahars emerged in western Maharashtra. One dynasty ruled over Thane and Raigad in North Konkan, the second in South Konkan, while the third dynasty ruled over some parts of the present-day Kolhapur, Satara, Sangli and Belgaum districts. The last prosperous power before the period of Shivaji Maharaj was that of the Yadavas. The capital of Bhillam V of the Yadava dynasty was at Devgiri near Aurangzeb. He extended his rule beyond the river Krishna. The Yadava period is considered to be the golden period of Marathi language and literature. It was in this period that Mahanubhav Panth and the Warkari movement emerged. Invasions from the northwest. Local dynasties like the Yadava and Rashtrakuta ruled in Maharashtra. But invaders from the northwest conquered the local dynasties there and established their own rule. In the meanwhile, the Arab power had emerged in the Middle East. Arab rulers turned towards India to expand their empire. The Arab general Muhammad bin Qasim attacked the Sindh province in the 8th century. Notwithstanding the resistance of King Dahir, he conquered the province of Sindh. Due to this campaign, the Arabs came into political contact with India for the first time. In the period that followed, Turks, Afghans, and Mughals from Central Asia came to India and established their power here. In the 11th century CC, the Turks began to invade India. Expanding their territories, they reached the northwestern frontier of India. Sultan Muhammad of Ghazni invaded India many times. He plundered the rich temples of Mathura, Vrindavan, Kannauj and Somnath and carried away enormous wealth with him. In 1175 CC and 1178 CC, Sultan Muhammad Ghuri of Ghur from Afghanistan invaded India. He appointed Qutbuddin Aibak to look after the governance of the conquered territories in India. Later, after the death of Muhammad Ghori in 1206 CC, Aibak began to rule the Indian territories under his rule independently. Aibak, who was initially a slave, became the ruler of Delhi. He died in 1210 CC. Ibrahim Lodi was the last sultan. He made many enemies because of his peculiar temperament. Daulat Khan Lodi, governor of Punjab, invited Babur, the ruler of Kabul, to fight against Ibrahim Lodi. Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi in the battle, and thus the Sultanate came to an end. The Kingdom of Vijayanagar. During the reign of Sultan Muhammadin Tughlaq of Delhi, there were many revolts in the south against the central power of Delhi. From these revolts arose the formidable Vijayanagar and Bahamani kingdoms. The brothers Hayar and Bukka from South India were Sardars in the service of Delhi Sultanate. Taking advantage of the instability in the south, during the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, they founded the kingdom of Vijayanagar in the south in 1336 CC. Hampi, in today's Karnataka, was the capital of this kingdom. Harihar was the first king of Vijayanagar. Harihar was succeeded by his brother Bukka. Bukka brought the region up to Rameshwar under his control. Krishnadev Rai. Krishnadev Rai ascended the throne of Vijayanagar in 1509 CC. He conquered Vijayawada and Rajamahendri and annexed the regions to his kingdom. He defeated the combined forces of the armies of sultans who had united under the leadership of the Bahamani Sultan Muhammad Shah. During Krishnadev Rai's reign, the kingdom of Vijayanagar extended from Cuttack in the east up to Goa in the west, and from the Raisur Doab in the north up to the Indian Ocean in the south. He died in 1530 CC. Krishnadev Rai was a scholar. He wrote Amukta Malayada, a Telugu compendium on polity. The Hazar Ram temple and Vitthal temple were built in Vijayanagar during his reign. The decline of the Vijayanagar kingdom began with the death of Krishnadev Rai. In 1565 CC, at Talikot, in the present state of Karnataka, there was a battle between Adil Shahi, Nizam Shahi, Qutub Shahi, Barid Shahi on one side and Vijayanagar on the other side. Vijayanagar was defeated. Thereafter, the dominance of Vijayanagar came to an end. The Bahamani Kingdom. While Muhammad bin Tughlaq was still reigning, some of his Sardars in the Deccan rose in rebellion against him. The leader of the Sardars, Hasan Gangu, defeated the army of the Sultan of Delhi. A new kingdom, known as Bahamani Kingdom, came into existence in 1347 CC. Hasan Gangu became the first Sultan of the Bahamani Kingdom. He made the city of Gulbarga in Karnataka his capital. Sultanate. Mahmud Gawan was the chief wazir of Bahamani Kingdom. He was a good administrator. He strengthened the Bahamani Kingdom. He started paying the soldiers their salaries in cash instead of through land grants. He brought discipline in the army. He introduced many reforms in the land revenue system. He opened a madrasa at Bidar for Arabic and Persian studies. After the death of Muhammad Qawan, factionism increased among the Bahamani Sardars. The conflict with the Vijayanagar kingdom had an adverse effect on the Bahamani kingdom. The provincial governors began to act more independently. This led to the disintegration of Bahamani kingdom into 5 small powers: Imad Shahi of Farhat, Barid Shahi of Bidar, Adil Shahi of Bijapur, Nizam Shahi of Ahmednagar, and Qutub Shahi of Golconda. Mughal power. In 1526 CC, the Sultanate of Delhi came to an end. Mughal power was established there. Babur. Babur was the founder of Mughal power. He was the king of Fargana in Central Asia in today's Uzbekistan. He had heard of the wealth in India, so he planned an invasion of India. The reigning Sultan of Delhi at that time was Ibrahim Lodi. Daulat Khan Lodi was the governor of Punjab under the Sultanate. The relationship between Ibrahim Lodi and Daulat Khan Lodi was strained. Daulat Khan Lodi invited Babur to march on India. Taking this opportunity, Babur invaded India. To repel Babur's invasion, Ibrahim Lodi started with his army. There was a battle between Ibrahim Lodi and Babur on 21st April 1526 at Panipat. In this battle, Babur made use of artillery effectively for the first time in India. He defeated Ibrahim Lodi's army. This is known as the First Battle of Panipat. After the Battle of Panipat, Rana Sangha of Mewat brought all Rajput kings together. There was a battle between Babur and Rana Sangha at Khanua. Babur's artillery and reserve force played a key role in this battle, and Rana Sangha's army was defeated. Babur died in 1530 CC. Akbar was the most powerful king of the Mughal dynasty. When he tried to bring India under his central authority, he had to face opposition. Maharana Pratap, Chand Bibi, Rani Durgavati struggled against him. Their struggle is noteworthy. Maharana Pratap. After the death of Uday Singh, Maharana Pratap ascended the throne of Mewat. He continued the struggle of Mewat's existence. Till the very end, he struggled with Akbar to maintain his independence. He has become immortal in history due to his qualities of valor, courage, self-respect, sacrifice, etc. The Mughals attacked Ahmednagar, the capital of Nizam Shah's kingdom, in 1595 CC. The Mughal army put the fort of Ahmednagar under siege. Chand Bibi, the capable daughter of Hussain Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar, bravely defended the fort. At this time, there was an internal strife among the factions of the Sardars in Nizam Shah's kingdom. This resulted in the murder of Chand Bibi. Later, the Mughals captured the fort of Ahmednagar. But the Mughals could not bring the entire kingdom of Nizam Shahi. Rani Durgavati. Gondwana can broadly be said to comprise the eastern part of Vidarbha, part of Madhya Pradesh to its north, the western part of today's Chhattisgarh, northern part of Andhra Pradesh, and western part of Odisha. Durgavati, born in the dynasty Chandel Rajput, became the queen of Gondwana when she was married. She was an excellent administrator. The struggle of Gondwana Queen Durgavati against the Mughals is important in medieval history. After her husband's death, Durgavati let down her life while fighting against Akbar, but she did not surrender. Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb became the emperor in 1658 CC. At this time, the Mughal Empire extended from Kashmir in north up to Ahmednagar in south, and from Kabul in west up to Bengal in east. To this, Aurangzeb added Assam in the east, and the regions of Adil Shahi of Bijapur in the south, and Qutub Shahi of Golconda after he ended these kingdoms. Conflict with Ahoms. In the 13th century CE, the people of Shan community settled down in the valley of river Brahmaputra. They established their kingdom there. They were locally known as Aham people. While Aurangzeb ruled, the Ahams had a prolonged struggle with the Mughals. The Mughals attacked the Ahams region. The Ahams, united under the leadership of Gadadhar Singh, Commander Lachit Borfukan, gave an intense battle against the Mughals. The Ahams used the guerrilla technique in the conflict against the Mughals. It became impossible for Mughals to create a strong base in Assam. Conflict with Sikhs. The ninth Guru of the Sikhs, Guru Tegh Bahadur, protested strongly against Aurangzeb's policy of religious intolerance. Aurangzeb imprisoned him and beheaded him in 1675 CC. After him, Guru Gobind Singh became the Guru of the Sikhs. Guru Gobind Singh organized his followers and encouraged their martial state. He organized the Sikh youths into a fighting force called the Khalsa Dal. The headquarters were in Anandpur. Aurangzeb sent his army to fight against the Sikhs. His army attacked Anandpur. Although the Sikhs fought fiercely, they did not succeed. After that, Guru Gobind Singh came to the Deccan in 1708 CC. There was an attempt on his life when he was at Nanded. Soon after, the Guru succumbed to his wounds. Conflict with the Rajputs. Akbar had secured the cooperation of the Rajputs with his policy of amicable relations. Aurangzeb could not obtain cooperation of Rajputs. After the death of Rana Jaswant Singh of Marwar, Aurangzeb annexed his kingdom to the Mughal Empire. Durgadas Rathod crowned Jaswant Singh's minor son Ajit Singh as the king of Marwar. Durgadas Rathod fought hard against the Mughals. Aurangzeb sent Prince Akbar to Marwar to crush the resistance of Durgadas. Prince Akbar joined hands with Rajputs and rose in revolt against Aurangzeb. An effort was made to seek help from the Marathas in Maharashtra in this revolt. Durgadas Rathod continued the struggle against the Mughals for the existence of Marwar. Conflict with the Marathas. In Maharashtra, Swaraj was established under the leadership of Shivaji Maharaj. In the effort to establish Swaraj, Shivaji Maharaj had to fight Mughals too, along with the other enemies. Aurangzeb came down to Deccan after the death of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj with an intention of conquering the whole of South India. But the Marathas offered stiff resistance to Aurangzeb and defended their independence. We shall study this struggle later on. Chand Bibi. The Mughals attacked Ahmednagar, the capital